who is it that has actually borrowed my reserve? America has borrowed this reserve. America is borrowing, as I told you, at the rate of $800 billion every year. So it is going on consuming, we are going on exporting to America. America is taking our goods, giving us dollar bills. We are not consuming the dollar bills, we are again giving it back to America so that America can spend it. So in a way we are working for America and also funding America's consumption. I am sure the audience will be able to appreciate the fundamental distortion in the global economy. One fellow goes on consuming, you pay him, and you also work for his consumption. Only mother and father will do like this. We are doing this for America, not only we. China is doing. Japan is doing. Asia is doing. Latin America is doing. Africa is doing. Why is it so? It is because the dollar is held to be the global currency. So what is this dollar that all of us so crucially revere? Why is it that we are not challenging this dollar? It has got historical reasons. During the World War II, America did not enter the war. Only two major countries did not enter the war. One was Switzerland, where all the politicians kept their black money, so they did not want to attack Switzerland. The other one was America, which did not enter the war till the fag end. And when it entered, it dropped the bombs and settled the issue. But when the war was fought between countries, they gave America gold and purchased gun. They took steel for gold. And after the war was over, the American dollar was backed by gold. It was backed at the rate of $35 per ounce of gold. So Americans will never issue more dollar than the gold reserve that they had. In a way, it was a gold standard. So if you give $35 to the American treasury, they will be bound to give you 1 troy ounce of gold. Just like our milkman who will mix water for every liter of milk that he supplies, Americans started printing more notes thinking who will find it out. So slowly they started printing more notes, more notes, more notes. Then one day there was only water, there was no milk. The French understood that the Americans are cheating. So they went and gave dollars and said, give me gold. They gave some gold. Then the Italians started, then the British started. Then they realized, if this goes on, they will have no gold. Then dollar will become a tissue paper. And that is what they did on 15th August 1971. Very strangely, it also coincides with our Independence Day. President Nixon said, from now on don't ask gold. Let us all believe that we have gold. My father's generation should have put an end to this controversy in 1971. At that time it would have been a minor surgery. Today it has taken a cancerous growth. And today what we are doing, we are still believing America has some value behind the dollar. And we are going on exporting goods to our America. What is America giving? Only treasury notes, nicely printed. And we are doing namaskaram and keeping it in the puja room. What you will get if you give back these treasury notes to America? You will get potato. This is the fundamental assumption of globalization on which today the so-called dollar value has become a huge crisis. What is China doing? China is giving America enormous amount of goods. Americans have become so lazy. They are in the postmodern stage of development. They may perhaps make some aircrafts, high technology, nanotechnology items. Broomsticks they will not make, pipes they will not make, bulbs they will not make, this mic they will not make. Everything is imported from China. China is happy to give goods to America. America is giving dollar to China. On one hand, China's reserves is going up, one hand, America's debt is going up. Both are like two drunkards. Have you seen two drunkards walking? Each one will put his arm around the other, they will stagger, but they will not fall. Each one will be pulling the counterbalancing. And one day when they fall, both will fall. This is the risk that is happening to the global economy today. It is the American consumption that is detonating the global economy. It is the Chinese supply of goods to America that is detonating the global economy. So it is a very, very precarious game, and today IMF is scratching his head and now saying we have to counterbalance all these things and we have to do something. What is this something? I will explain now. Those of you who will recall, in 1997 there was an East Asian crisis. And today we are actually paying the price for the East Asian crisis. What happened there? America gave small doses of money to this East Asian crisis. These people grew. Whenever you have money comes in, automatically you will buy some assets, whether it is scooter, house, car, bungalow, something you will buy, it will grow. And the Western economists, when Asian economies grew, said, oh, these guys are growing. It is a miracle. Look at the arrogance. When I say somebody has got a house in Koramangala or some very posh area of Bangalore, oh, that guy has he purchased a house. It's a miracle, pa. What does it mean? I am not happy about his growth. I am only jealous. I am saying this guy is incapable of growing. Now this guy has got a house. It is impossible to believe. That is the appellation that was given to the Asian growth in 1997. Michael Kamadesu, who was the IMF chief at that time, went on to say that these economies are performing excellently. This was in June, July 1997. Then suddenly everybody withdrew money. The currencies collapsed. And East Asian countries lost 30-40 years of their saving within days. Who did this? Why did they do it? Questions that have not been answered till now. Who were behind all these things? Was there a political motive behind all these things? Nobody has answered these questions. It still remains. And Mahathir Mohamad, who was the Prime Minister of Malaysia at that time, was very clear. He says these Americans have conspired against East Asian growth. He is very clear. But after this crisis, where the currency which was up to a particular level for various countries tumbled vis-a-vis the dollar, these countries understood there is a virtue for even a weak currency. Supposing today the rupee is 40, for some reason it falls to 80 rupees. You may find exporting a lot of goods very easily. You can export virtually anything if the rupee falls to 80. And you don't have to bother about consuming in your country because you are all prima facie a savings economy. So East Asian countries could afford to devalue their currencies, and they engaged in a game of competitive devaluation. China will devalue, Malaysia will devalue, India will devalue, Japan will devalue. Everybody devalued their currency vis-a-vis the dollar. Dollar was still powerful. So they started exporting to America, which was the only consuming country in the world. Why did America consume? That is a story by itself. Americans today have lost what is called as the institution of family. Male lives with female. It is not family. It is called live-in relationship. 50% of children know their father or mother, not both of them. There is a new term in American family life which is called stepfather or stepmother or stepsister or stepbrother. That is, you have only one of the father or mother common, and the other person is somebody else who has left over from a different family and joined this. This distress